practice. Let's get to it. So we've got a practice that's going to be centered or focused on unraveling the tissues, creating some heat and improving strength and stability and everything that we want in our movement practices. And we're going to focus from the soles of the feet up to the hips with a little bit of a nod to the abdominals too. So let's start by unraveling the legs, and then let's come onto here. So let's go straight back onto the toes and then untuck the toes so that they can just kind of gently, maybe not so gently, they can kind of just rest against the floor. And what we want to do is, one, put that little bit of pressure into your toes. There are areas that, you know, your feet, we don't give any attention to our feet. Maybe a few of you do, but we don't give anywhere near enough attention to our feet. And so many of our nerve endings, so much sensory information, so much sensory tissue is contained in the feet that has an incredible impact for the rest of the body. And even just the fascia here or the tissues here, how they relate to the calves, the back of the legs, the lower spine. It's incredible really that we don't give them as much emphasis as they need to have. Anytime it feels uncomfortable and it's gonna, you're gonna have to start coming forwards, wriggle the toes a little bit and then come back into it. And this is the first point where we can start to layer in some breath. So, you know, when we're working with the body in a way where we're trying to lengthen the tissues and relax the body, then it's important that we tempo the breath. Easy way of doing that is to breathe in for a count of 4, breathe out for a count of 6. You might have used that with me before. But if we're aware that the breath out is longer than the breath in, it's a good indication we're starting to relax the system. And we're encouraging the physical tissues, which are feeling uncomfortable, to also chill out and relax. Okay, that's enough. Let's point the toes and let's do something that works the top of the ankles too. So here we're going to place the bum down, have hands out in front, and then we're just going to very gently rock back until we start to feel the stomach muscles engage, little bit of action activity to the thighs and a bit of a stretch across the tops of the feet, and then come forwards. So breath in is to send us back. Keep the spine nice and straight, just enough to get a little bit of activity in the stomach. Breath out, come forwards. Breathe in, take us back. Breath out, forwards, easy stuff. Okay, we're going to come into this. We push up, and as we reach up, reach the hands as high as you can. Really start to work on tucking the tailbone under, squeezing the shoulder blades together. And then in one movement, we exhale, we come down. We find the stomach, we feel a little bit of opening on the feet, we push up, squeeze the shoulder blades together, down we come. Little bit of activity in the stomach, up we come, stretch, bring us down one more time. Little bit of activity in the stomach, stretch, bring us up. Okay, let's take it further. Let's start to engage the balls of the feet now. I'm going to spin from this way for you. So we're going to start to engage the balls of the feet again. Rock back onto heels, or onto the balls of the feet, sorry. Keep the heels up, and then just see whether you can do a little bit of a mini squat. Then come down, slowly, see whether you can do this without touching the floor. Knees down, unravel the toes, bum goes down, we stretch back. Knees haven't started to lift just yet. Come all the way up, engage the toes, catch. Slowly, bum to heels, knees down, toes untuck, take us down, little bit more activity coming in. Come up, engage the toes, lift. Same thing, down we come, heels. So you're mobilizing the ankles loads. Again, you're kind of getting stuck into areas that we don't really give anywhere near enough attention to. Lift up, mini squat, come down, unravel the toes. Now this time I want you to walk your hands back as far as you feel you comfortably can. Maneuver the hips a little bit, or roll the hips a little bit, and then shuffle the feet so they're either side of the hips. And then walk the hands back as far as you feel you comfortably can. Project the heart forwards. And I want you to feel that you're getting a little bit of an opening to the tops of the thighs, maybe a little bit of an opening to the tops of the thighs for some of us. And then let's press into the tops of the feet, press into the thighs, and lift the hips high into the air. So it's not this. We're not coming all the way up like this, like we normally would. We've walked back as far as we feel we can to open the chest and the shoulders. And it's just a little bit of elevation. Press into the tops of the feet. Start to really engage the thighs. But breathe slowly. we can just breathe it out, breathe the hips out. Okay, good. Bum comes down. Let's walk us forwards. Let's continue that routine where we roll onto the balls of the feet, take the hands up. Let's take the squat a little bit higher and bring your hands up now. Now as we do that, tuck the tailbone under. Start to feel a little bit more heat into the thighs. Keep the chin tucked in. Stay here for the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Brilliant. Come down. Knees come down. Let's unravel the toes. Press into the tops of the feet. Keep the waistband up. Hands forward. And then similar to what we did before, let's just lower down to the point where we feel the front line of the body engage. So, pubic bone up. Super important. Rib cage and hips together. Hands out. And then we're going to rock back. Press into the tops of the feet. Feel the body engage. Bring it back up. Breath in. If we can, breathe out. Bring it back up. Now when we're wandering down to this, it might be that you feel a little bit of a pinch in the lower back. Now that's an indication the pelvis is tilting. So you've got to work. You've got to really bring the waistband up. Think of that pubic bone coming up towards the rib cage, the stomach strong. And if it's there, then we feel all the activity in the thighs, little bit of stabilization in the stomach, but there's definitely no pinching at the back. Just one more. Breath in, bring it back. Yeah. Bring it down, we come. Right, let's bring our hips into play. So when we bring our hips into play, let's come into that 90-90. We like a little bit of this action. So we're going to go right thigh, right thigh forwards. Right thigh runs along the side of your mat. Let's square the shin up so it's at a 90. And then we've got a 90 with that back leg too. And we're going to push into the feet. Lift the hips nice and high. Keep the tailbone tucked. Feel as though the glutes are really engaging. And then if you can keep the hands up, start to rotate onto the hips. Come into the left side, squeeze them up. So it's a bit like a hip thruster. Waistband comes up. Stomach's engaged. Bum is on. Bring us down. Take us to the side. Drive them up. Tuck the tailbone. Here's on. Take it down. Start to seal the lips. Start to notice if the mouth's opening and we're breathing through the mouth. Are you with me? We'll have worked on that a lot. Sealing the lips, only breathing through the nose. Take us down. Come back into the hips again. Make sure the glutes are on. Bring it down. Then come back to that first side. Shuffle around a little. So we're back in 90-90, right legs forwards. I want you to try to square your hips up as much as you can. And then I actually want you to start to walk forwards and backwards. Slowly making your way as though you're working across a half face of a clock. And then you work back. So we're stretching out, walking back. Walk forwards. Walk back. Walk forwards. Walk back. And again, forwards. And this is just going to give us a little bit more access into the hips. Okay, let's stay here. One that's probably more challenging than it looks is now working with that back leg. So it should be your left heel's back. We're back in that 90-90. Fingertips down. Keep the spine nice and tall. Try not to dip forward too much. And let's pick that right heel up. We hold. Try to lift it as high as we can. 4, 3, 2, 1. Really good. Knee comes down. Pick the entire leg up. So my knee's up. I'm trying to keep the shin really square. I'm trying to not lean too far off to the side. I've got plenty of strength in that left hand. 4, 3, 2. Now keep it up. On the 1, bring the right leg forwards. See whether the heel can make its way to the left leg forward. See whether the heel can make its way to the right knee. Then come back. Then go down. And we start that whole sequence again. Heel up first. 5, 4. So here we're trying to activate. 3, 2, 1. Knee comes up to join it. 5, 4, 3. A little higher. 2, 1. Keep that muscle engaged. Bring the leg forward. Heel touches the knee, takes us back, stay here, plant it down. One more time, heel comes up, 5, 4, twist it that little bit higher, 3, 2, on the 1, and you can see I'm starting to lean. So I'm going to have to put my right hand down, just stabilise myself a bit. 3, 2, keep it high, keep it high, keep it high. Bring it forwards, heel touch. Take it back. This time, fully extend the leg. As we fully extend the leg, let's roll. So pigeon pose from yoga, we're going to borrow a little, but we're going to make it more active. So here, I want your kneecap, so it's facing the knee. You'll notice that it's probably the inside of the kneecap that's kind of rubbing along the floor. If that's the case, tuck the heel in, so that right heel in a bit. Push into the right hand, get your hips really square, walk back, and then we're going to pick the hands up, reach up, and then separate the hands, and then see whether you can lower and just have the crown of the head or the forehead, not the crown of the head, the forehead touch the floor. Reach up, separate the hands, take us down. Forehead touches, up we come. Up, separate, down. Just one more. We go up, really push into the knee and the hips. Get the hips really high. Bring us down, walk us forwards. Let's square that shin up as much as we can. And let's just hang out in pigeon pose. We can be on hands, we can be on forearms, or we can lie down. Seal the lips. And I want you to try to encourage your left hip to make its way to the floor. And if you do that, the right hip opens up. I want you to check in with that breath pattern we said earlier. Seal the lips, breathe through the nose. Just relaxing the hips. And just take 3 more, that's all. Last one, deep breath in. And then slowly let all the air go. Nice, walk us up. Pick the hands up. Use your mobility to twist to that back area, and let's do the same. Let's go into 90-90. So you should be on your left side. Shuffle my mat a little. You should be on your left side. Wander over to the left-hand side of the mat. Square the shin up. So we've got ankle, knee, hip. Ankle, knee, hip. All that kind of 90-degree angles. And then, first thing we do, we start to walk on that clock face. So we walk down, walk back. Now I'm doing this because I'm trying to encourage you to come out of these very strict linear patterns and get more connected to an entire spectrum of movement, sensation, mobility, stability, strength. So in these postures, you've got all these areas that you can investigate, but we never go anywhere near them. Walk back. And every time I position my hands slightly differently on that clock face, it changes the experience I'm having in the thighs and in the hips. And that's what we want. Okay, come back to the centre. Let's square it all up. Start to strengthen back that back leg. Heel lifts. And we go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Knee lifts. 5. And when the knee lifts, see whether you can keep the knee and the ankle pretty straight. Yeah. 2, 1. Then keep it there. Bring it all the way forwards. Ankle touches knee. Bring it all the way back. Place it down. Ankle up first, as high as we can. So we're rotating the knee to get the ankle up. We're rotating the hip. 2, 1. Knee joins it. Try to get the knee and the ankle all nice and aligned and straight. So the knee isn't higher than the ankle. Bring the ankle forwards. Touch the knee. Take it back. Find a bit of heat. Place it down. Ankle up first. 5. Just about now I can feel myself compensating and leaning too much into that left shoulder. Knee up. Check in. Am I square? Yeah, kinda. Bring it forward using the glutes. Touch. Nice. This time as we send it back, let's square everything up. So it might be that the heel wants to tuck in a little bit, like mine's beginning to do. I want your main focus to be that back leg. So if I press into that left hand, get my hips really square, and now my right kneecap's flush with the floor. That's going to feel better for the hips. And this is then where we do a little bit of activity. So pick the hands up, squeeze the shoulder blades together, watch my bum push up into the knee to reach up. So glutes are engaged. Squeeze the shoulder blades together with as much control as I can. Forehead touches. I come up, reach, I squeeze. Separate. Forehead touches. I lift, I reach, I squeeze. One more. Shoulder blades together. So it's my hips, it's my abdominals, it's my entire core that is stabilizing me. Bum sinks down, hands down to the ground. Here can be good in pigeon pose, here can be good. If we feel we want to lie flat, we can lie flat. I want you to seal your lips. And I want you to encourage your right hip to move to the ground. To the front of the right hip, the waistband. And then I want you to seal the lips, close your eyes. And I want you to practice breathing into a count of 4. Breathing out to a count of 6, 7, or maybe even 8 if you can. And just notice if the breath outs become shorter. If it has, when you notice that, start to lengthen it again. Relax into the hips. Let's take those final 3. 2. Last breath. Okay, let it go. Let's walk us back. This time as we walk us back, let's bring that right leg forwards. Let's come into our final section as we work into the hips. Let's get the glutes really strong and engaged. Walk the fingertips behind us. We can turn the hands forwards. Fingertips can be forwards out to the side, or they can rotate behind us, hips or feet to their hip width apart. Bum to heels. Bum comes up. And then let's see whether we can lift us up. Really good one for opening the chest, but I want you to focus more on the heels. Let the toes turn out. Let the knees separate. Drive into your heels. Get your hips high. And when we're here, we breathe in the same pattern. We breathe slowly. And I want you to think of bringing your pubic bone or your waistband at the front up to the rib cage. And that's going to help you engage the glutes a bit more. Okay, bum to heels, bum down. Let's take it further. Bum back to heels. Breath in, take it up. Focus on the right heel, extend the left leg. 5, hips high. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pick the leg up. Bend the knee, rest the outside of the ankle onto that right knee. And then pushing into the hands. Chest into the thigh. Really nice way of opening up the hips, but still strengthening the side. And we'll just breathe into it nice and slowly. Spine's nice and straight. Trying to discourage that hunching of the spine. Hands are there so we can open up. And then let's come out the same way. Press into the right heel. Extend the legs, curl the toes up. Shoulders up, seal the lips, you breathe. Hips nice and high. 4, hips a little higher. 3, 2, heel down, bum to heels, bum back. One more, bum to heels, bum up, Tuck the tailbone, extend the right leg. As we extend the right leg, try to be mindful of the bum collapsing and also that the hips begin to twist on one side. Hips nice and high. Bend the knee. Take the outside of the ankle on top of that left knee, keeping the hips nice and square. Push into the hands. And then that right knee. As you can see, my right knee's just starting to pull in. So I'm going to actively push the right knee away without the need to use my hands. So I'm pushing that right knee away. It doesn't need to be pushed or moved in any way by any of my hands. My body can do that. Focus on the left heel. Inhale, come up. Tuck the tailbone under. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Try to fully extend that right leg. Push into the left heel. Hips are nice and high for 3, 2, 1. Heel down. Bum to heels. Bum down. Almost there. We're going to cross heels. Now as we cross heels, sometimes with this final posture it's going to feel more comfortable to lift the bum up, sit onto a block or sit onto a few cushions, prop yourself up nice and high. It's going to mean that we can gain access into the hips without relying so much on the knees. And you're going to do this, you can mirror me, so right leg in front of left, and then we're going to imagine there's a wall against this left leg, and my left knee is flush with that wall, and my right foot's going to walk over, so it would also be flush with the wall. Pick your bum up, shuffle back. So hopefully you can see that my shins are fairly square, almost completely square the head of the mat. My toes are turned forwards, as though there is a wall there against the soles of the feet. My knees are sat with the ankles. It's not this. It's not crossing over the heels. We've walked much wider. Yeah? Should feel it much deeper into the hips. And then we can walk forwards. First of all, rest the forearms down, bring the palms of the hands together, seal the lips, and you breathe. And it's that same breath pattern we had earlier. Slow and soft. Inhale 4, exhale 6, maybe 7, maybe 8. Now you can remain here, you can walk on hands. You might feel you can walk forwards or even walk wider. Same breath pattern. And if you can rest the crown of your head on the floor, keep the same breath pattern and just relax into your hips. I'm going to walk my hands forwards. Complete surrender. 3 breaths. Slowly inhale, walk us back. Unravel the legs, extend them, give the knees a little bit of love and care and attention. Roll the ankles, and then we take it to the side. So remember, it's not crossing heels. You're walking that left foot in front of the right knee. You're walking as far as you can, over as though it's being placed against the wall. And then we're going to shuffle ourselves forwards. Make sure there's a nice gap. My shins are really square with the head of the mat. My toes are turned forwards, not kind of mangled off a little bit to the side. I'm opening up the outside of the hips. And then hands can be here, they can be propped up. Remember, you can be propped up. If you're finding this is really hunching the spine, you're not getting into the hips, it means you've got to get your bum higher. And then I sit, I close my eyes, I take all the tension away from the body, I breathe. Chill. Just step into that space. I start to count the breath. Count 4 in, count 6 out. That's going to give me some mental focus, some clarity, but also the assurance that my body's starting to relax. And then you can remain here, or as I did before, you can walk the hands forwards,
Or you can walk them out to the sides and allow the crown of the head to rest onto the mat. It's the same breath, no force, no tension, just relax. Relax the face, relax the shoulders, relax. Again, I'm just going to walk the hands forwards, final few moments. Take 3 breaths from here. Focus on the exhale. Let the body become relaxed and soft. When you're ready, take your time. Slowly walk back, but this time maybe try to keep your eyes closed. Unravel the legs. If you've got hair, you can run your hands through your hair like I do. You don't need to do that. And then any seated posture you wish. And then for me, the primary tool, the most important tool, the fundamental aspect of everything that we do is breath. So every opportunity that we get to build our relationship with the breath, we do so. So here, any seated posture you wish, shoulders back, chin tucked in, the spine sits tall, the physical body and all the flesh is soft. And I want you to seal the lips. Be aware that you are breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. And then set yourself into a rhythm, to a breath pattern. Breathe in 4, breathe out 6. If you can start to include movement through the navel and the rib cage as you breathe in. So as you breathe in, the navel moves forwards. You breathe in further, you feel the entire rib cage, the shoulder blades, the collarbones all expand. And as you breathe out to the count of 6, you feel the rib cage release the air. And then eventually the navel draws into the spine. Final deep breath in, breath out, let it go. Boom. Thank you for joining me. Good session. Hope your hips feel the benefit. I'll see you next time.